If you can see here, for example, 6 hours cycle, so that'll be pretty tasty to say the least. 1 hour run again, which does have some intervals in as well. That is going to be a pretty tough training day, and it's a brick as well. Okay, so it is the first official training workout of the 2021 Ironman training program, 80/20 endurance on Training Peaks. It is Tuesday morning, the 26th of January, and today, like I said, well, actually yesterday was the first official session on the training program, but it was a swim, and obviously we can't do the swims at the minute because the pools aren't open because of lockdown. So today we've got a run and a bike. Today's run, 5-minute, really easy zone 1 jog, and then into a 20-minute easy run, slightly faster than the active recovery jog, and then going into 7 intervals of 1 minute fast pace, 2 minute slow pace, 7 times, and then a 5-minute cool down. So I think in total it's somewhere around a 50-minute run, obviously doing the intervals. And then later on this evening I will be doing a bike session, which is just a steady zone 2 ride, obviously on the trainer, because I do not want to be going out again on the road yet, purely because of the weather. It's going to be really slippy, icy, not ideal. Like I said, today is the first official one of the training program, and I will later on this video will be going through my training program and how it looks leading right up to the Ironman on the 4th of July, which again, fingers crossed, it does still go ahead. Can't do the swimming, but we're still getting it done. So let's get this run done. So 6 minute per mile on the pace on the faster intervals, and then probably somewhere around a 9:20 on the slower intervals. So looking forward to this one. It's always good to mix it up a little bit, put the intervals in so it's not too tedious and just doing the longer runs, which I'm constantly doing, especially after my 5k last week. I need to get used to those faster paces, so let's get on with it. Okay, so that is the run done. 7 intervals of 1 minute fast pace, 2 minutes easy, 25-minute warm up at the start. Felt really good. Not gonna lie, with it being really frosty, it was a little bit treacherous on the old legs, but that's the first proper workout with the plan done. Happy with that. And like I said, later on got the bike and I'm gonna feed up now. So I'm gonna go on and talk about the actual program. I'm not gonna show the whole program, so I don't think it'll look too good. 80/20 endurance if I publicise their plan. I'm gonna go over the plan, a few weeks of it, and how rigorous it actually is leading right up to the Ironman itself. So run done. Let's get on with it. We're going to jump in onto my Training Peaks so you can have a little look over what my plan is currently looking like. Obviously I'm not going to go through the full 23 weeks because obviously, like I said before in the last clip, I don't want to show the full training program, especially that I've paid for it, and to 80/20 endurance it probably wouldn't be too moral of me to do that. Okay, so as you can see on the screen here now, we have the first week, which this is what I did this morning, that run, which was the interval. So if you don't use Training Peaks, it is actually probably one of the best platforms I've used for training programs. I find it really easy to integrate into my workouts on my watch and on Zwift as well for my cycles. This is what the first week is looking like, aka this week. Obviously, as you can see, yesterday, tomorrow and Friday and Sunday there were supposed to be swims, so what I'm doing instead is just doing gym workout sessions. So I think this week is, you know, nothing too crazy. It's probably one of the lower volume weeks in the whole 23 weeks, which obviously you would expect with it being the first week. If you click on this, the run, which is what I did this morning, as you can see, I did 51 minutes in total. It ended up being around 6 miles. So I did a 5-minute there, warm up, 20-minute at a zone 2, and then 7 intervals of 1 minute harder and 2 minutes easier, and then finished off with a 5-minute cool down. So at the end here on the right hand side, it will show the total duration of how many hours and obviously minutes you've done throughout the week of training, your swim distance, your bike duration and your run duration. Obviously the swim duration is not going to be high at all. So we've got the fitness, fatigue and the form there. Later on today, after I finish the work, I am going to be doing this bike. As you can see, it's a 1 hour steady state, 5 minutes zone 1, 50 minutes zone 2, then another 5 minutes zone 1. So these are sort of like the examples of what the training plan is currently looking like this week, just starting out. So I think the intensity and highest volume one is Saturday's cycle, which is 2 hours long with a mixture of intervals and easy pace riding forward, and scroll right down. So if you can see here, for example, on June the 20th on the Sunday, quite a big training day. Obviously this is getting a lot closer to the actual event itself, so obviously the volume and the intensity is going to increase as it goes on. So as you can see here, on this particular day there's 6 hours of a cycle. It does have a mixture of intervals as well, so that'll be pretty tasty to say the least. And then we've got 1 hour run again, which does have some intervals in as well, so that is going to be a pretty tough training day, and it's a brick as well. So essentially what that means is we're doing a cycle, a 6 hour cycle, and then getting off, getting changed and going straight into the run. Factors in a taper week as well, because obviously the last thing I want to do on the week of the Ironman is feel really fatigued fatigued. I want to optimise how I'm feeling for the Ironman race itself. I want to, you know, on that day feel fresh and not feeling like I'm sore or feeling fatigued or tired or anything like that. So that is all I'm going to show on the training program, again, because I don't want to go too in depth with it. That's what it's looking like. Obviously, I hope that I can actually, you know, progress as the weeks go on. And over the last 6 to 8 months before I even got my bike, I've sort of just done a lot of the runs and the structuring off my own back. And then the last few months since I got the turbo and the bike, I have noticed that I've started looking a bit more in depth at how to structure my workout. So now actually having this plan in place, you know, when you've got something like this set in place, obviously I'm going to do it anyway, but having the plan in front of me really is making me look forward to the race. So again, fingers crossed it doesn't get called off. And later on today we do have that 1 hour steady state cycle, so I'll pick up when we are on the bike later. Right then, we are back for the second session of the day in the garage, and I'm not gonna lie, it is absolutely Baltic. It is freezing. Tell you what, I am so glad that I've actually bought a turbo indoor smart trainer, because if I hadn't, I would not want to be riding outside. I would be so much less motivated to do these cycle sessions if I didn't have this smart trainer. So big up the smart trainer. I'm so glad I bought it. We're going to do, like I said earlier on, a 1 hour steady state, which should be somewhere between 200 and 220 watts for 1 hour session. So nice and steady. Put the headphones in. So yeah, shouldn't be too crazy, like I said, after the intervals this morning. To be honest, I just want to warm up. Looking forward to doing this, and then a big feed up and football later on this evening. Right then, that is the 1 hour bike done. I'll put the workout on the screen here. I'm not gonna lie, with it being a slightly improved FTP from my RAM test, obviously the power output I needed to hold was a little bit higher, whereas over the last few months from my previous FTP, which was 216 watts, for a zone 2 ride I would have been holding somewhere around 160 watts there for that ride, whereas now, because I've increased my FTP, I was holding 210 watts for the hour ride. So that 50 watt increase, you know, does make a difference. My heart rate sort of averaged somewhere around that 150 BPM. My zone 2 ceiling is 155, and sometimes I did creep just above that every now and then, you know, getting closer to that ceiling of the zone 2. So that indicates it's a good thing that I did do that FTP test again, so that, you know, I know exactly where I am, and I'm not pushing myself hard enough. As the months go on, obviously I hope to hold this same power output, but my heart rate's actually come down. So obviously I'm not working as hard to keep the same power, which indicates I'm getting fitter. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. That is going to end it here, and if you want to follow my journey to the Ironman 2021 Bolton on the 4th of July, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the video, and if you've got any comments, put them down below. And I am out till the next one. Thank you.